Remember the episode where we asked whether AI was going to take white-collar jobs? That whole thing was pure anxiety. This week, I read a long post going viral on X, and it takes that anxiety and translates it straight into a business. It's called the Claude Agent Playbook. And listen, it's not about using AI to write your emails faster. It's about building AI agents for other people and turning that into a business that charges a monthly fee. Here's the takeaway up front. An AI agent economy is taking shape. And underneath it, it's one sentence. You stop selling the stuff AI writes, and you start selling a capability that keeps working for you. The playbook breaks turning that into money into 3 paths. Today I read the whole thing for you, and I wring out the hype for you too.
First, the scale. This post has nearly 400,000 reads. The author is an ex-poster, anonymous. I'll get into the numbers later. For now, hold on to 3 words. One person's take.
Who wrote it? An ex-poster who goes by Yershev. One personal essay, read by a few 100,000 people. That's it. So the disclosure this time needs to land a little harder. First, this is one person's take. Not a big-name interview, not a news event, and nobody third-party has verified it.
Second, it belongs to a very old genre. How to make money off of something. This kind of content is born with a motive to sell you a course, sell you a template. And the second path in this very playbook happens to be selling templates. In other words, it's demonstrating the exact thing it's selling. I have to call that out.
But let's give it a fair shake. There's something unusual about this one. It keeps tapping its own brakes. Everywhere a number shows up, it tags it. Illustrative only, not a promise. Every example it gives is labeled a made-up, illustrative scenario.
On that, it's more restrained than 90% of the content like it out there. So here's my stance. I'll relay the content to you, I'll flag the hype for you, and you keep your guard up.
Okay, peel back the make money surface layer. Underneath it, there's a real shift, and it's the most valuable part of the whole thing. Chatbot versus agent. What's the actual difference? The definition the playbook gives, I think it's spot on. A chatbot answers one question at a time. You ask, it answers, then it stops and waits for your next line. The human is always in the loop, playing dispatcher, deciding what to ask, when to ask, and what to do once the answer comes back. An agent is different. It holds a goal, runs through a whole chain of steps on its own, calls tools when it needs data or needs to act, checks its own output, and only comes back to you when a decision genuinely needs a human.
There's one comparison in the playbook I really like. The difference between Claude helped me draft this, and Claude ran the whole thing end to end, so I went and did something else. That's the difference.
And that one move completely changes what you can sell. You're no longer selling a document AI wrote. You're selling a capability that keeps running after the invoice is paid. A one-off gig becomes a capability billed by the month. In the playbook's words, you're not selling the entry point. You're selling the outcome. That's the entire foundation the business stands on. So who's actually in this business, and who gets pulled into it? I'll set out 5 chairs. I set them out. I don't sit in them for you. Chair 1. The playbook's author himself, the shovel seller. His narrative. The agent economy is a new opening for ordinary people. The tools for building agents have dropped from an engineering project to something you can build in a weekend.
His exact words. The bottleneck isn't technical skill anymore. Now it's clarity. Figuring out which process to automate, how to package it, how to sell it. Let me run the 3 paths back for you. 1. Custom service for a single business. Fastest payback. 2. Package the agent into a template and sell it to many. You scale through distribution. 3. Run an automation agency on long-term contracts. Highest ceiling.
Chair 2. The skeptic. The skeptic would say, I've seen this script before. Every wave of technology grows its own how to make money off of it genre right alongside it. Late 90s, it was web dev shops, then it was SEO consultants, then it was dropshipping boot camps and no-code agencies. The playbook is literally teaching you how to sell templates. It's just the latest episode of that same genre. Chair 3, the small business owner, the one actually paying. The person in this chair doesn't actually want AI at all.
The most down-to-earth line in the playbook is aimed right at him. Don't open with the technology. Open with the task he dreads most on Monday morning. He doesn't want AI. He wants that thing that eats 3 hours of my week to stop eating them.
Chair 4, the one I think most needs to be heard. The person being automated. Listen closely to the examples the playbook gives. The law firm receptionist retyping client intake forms into the system one by one. The small shop bookkeeper manually reconciling Stripe payouts against Shopify refunds every week. The recruiter screening resumes by hand and writing rejection letters by hand.
These jobs share one thing: repetitive, rule-based, wedged between 2 or 3 apps that don't talk to each other. The playbook calls this the perfect first customer. But flip it around. These perfect things to automate are the work some specific person does every single day right now.
The whole playbook talks about how to automate that work, but not one line about where that receptionist, that bookkeeper, goes afterward. This chair is empty. I'm putting it out here so it doesn't just quietly stay empty. Chair 5, the platform, which means Anthropic. This entire economy grows on top of Claude's connectors, scheduled tasks, tool calls, and memory.
The platform lays the capability out for free, and third parties grow businesses on top of it. The platform wins. But at the same time, it offloads the dirty work of the ecosystem, reliability, and data security onto those third parties to carry. Half of the signals we watch later sit in this chair.
So what does this business grow into 2 years from now? Don't rush to believe any single answer. Historically, packaging a new technology into services, templates, and agencies has played out over and over, and it ends more than one way. I'll give you 3. Ending 1. It grows into a real industry. A lot of those web dev shops from around 1999 are still alive today, turned into ordinary digital marketing agencies. Narrow, steady, not flashy, but a real business. Ending 2. A wave of guru hype, then it clears out. Dropshipping boot camps, Amazon masterclasses, NFT flipping. The moment the tech or the hype recedes, the froth is gone, leaving a floor covered in course-selling screenshots.
One reminder: restrained as this playbook is, its distribution posture is the same move as those course sellers in Ending 2. Write a piece, go viral, harvest followers. Looking alike doesn't mean the content is thin, but it's worth holding the two up side by side.
Ending 3, the easiest one to overlook. It gets swallowed by the technology itself. The SEO experts and no-code consultants of their day were once skills you could charge for on their own. But once the tech went mainstream, that specialty dissolved into the everyday skill set of every marketer and every operator and stopped being a separate business. Which one does the agent economy land on? My bet is a little of all 3. The narrow and deep ones will live on as an industry. The get-rich-quick gurus will clear out. And knowing how to build an agent on its own will most likely become an ordinary workplace skill within 2 years. Today's edge, tomorrow's baseline. Now my take. The playbook's closing line is this: the people making money with Claude in 2026 aren't smarter than you. They just started before you finished deciding. Strip off the motivational gloss, and I actually buy the core of it. The real unlock with agents was never a smarter chatbot. It's cutting down the number of steps that can't move forward unless a human is standing guard. But I have to add one thing the playbook doesn't spell out. The moat on this business is extremely shallow. It admits as much itself. The same template you can sell to competitors in the same industry.
In other words, the early edge is real, and the narrow window is real too. The money you can make today building agents for people is very likely a bet on the lag before most people catch on.
So over the next 2 years, I'll watch 2 signals for you. The first, reliability. When do escalation and monitoring? That whole thing of whether an agent stops and asks a human when it's not sure. Go from a nice to have to a hard bar you simply can't sell without. The day that happens, a big batch of the dabblers gets filtered out. The second signal. When the platform steps onto the field itself. The day Anthropic, or some other big player, opens its own official agent and template marketplace. Those third-party template businesses get absorbed overnight.
These two signals. One governs who gets washed out, the other governs who gets absorbed. Watching those is worth more than watching any how to make money playbook.
One last honest word from me. As an action guide, I have my reservations. As a frontline signal, I take it seriously. It tells you ordinary people are already building businesses on top of agents, and that fact by itself is one of the truest cross-sections of the next 2 years. I'm the one who reads a whole round of this stuff for you, rings out the hype, and relays it. Next one, I keep relaying.